got some good news for Houston Astros fans. The Houston Astros are extending pitcher Lance McCullers Jr. to a 5-year, $85 million extension, which I want to point out that this extension is effective next season, and I'll get to that in just a minute. Um, as to why that is, I just want to read off the stats real quick. Last year is actually pretty good for someone who came off of a what's it called, Tommy John surgery. He missed all of 2019 because of that, and obviously last season was shortened, so we give most players a pass. But he went 3-3 with a 3.93 ERA and 56 strikeouts and 11 starts, which actually isn't that bad, especially for the shortened season. And the reason why this contract is going into effect in the 2022 season is because just I think it was a month ago or something like that. Him and the Astros avoided arbitration by signing a 1-year, $6.5 million contract. So in reality, he's here for another 6 more seasons. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. But with that being said, I want to read a quote by Lance McCullers. He actually said a month ago, and I quote, "Houston's where I want to be. This is my home. This is where I see myself. I would undoubtedly want to be here well into the future. I think the real question would be, do the Astros see me here? Do the Astros see me as a part of their future? If the Astros see me as a part of their future, as a big part of the future, then I would love to stay here if it makes sense for everyone." And the source for this was ESPN's Jeff Passan. So, Mario, let me start off with this, okay? I think this is a very, very great extension. In my opinion, personally, Lance McCullers is one of the more underrated players, or one of the more underrated pitchers in baseball. Is he at the top elite? No, but I think he gets the job done. He gets the job relatively well, and I think this is a guy the Astros really need to keep in their pitching rotation since a certain somebody isn't going to be here this season. Obviously that guy I'm talking about is Justin Verlander. He's probably going to miss the rest of this season because of his Tommy John surgery that he got I think it was back in September or October or something like that. But anyway, I just want to go over his career stats. He's 32 and 25 with a 3.7 ERA, and he had an All-Star appearance in 2017. He's only been in the league for 5 seasons. So look at it here. Time is on his side. He's been in the league for 5 years. He won that World Series even though it was tainted. Personally, I honestly, when it comes to that, when I look at that World Series, obviously the hitters and the runners and whatever, but nobody talks about the pitchers. And here's why nobody talks about the pitchers. Because the pitchers weren't involved in that. When you think about it, Mario, the one person that I mean, if you want to say snitch, because that's just the word that we use these days, but the one person that snitched on the Astros was a pitcher. You know what I mean? Mike Fiers is a pitcher. That was the one that spoke out about it, and the pitchers even spoke out about it too. They didn't know what was going on because they're not the ones stealing signs. They're just there to pitch. You know what I mean? So I give Lance McCullers a pass for that exact reason because he's a pitcher. They're in the bullpen. So like they don't really know, most of the things that's going on inside the dugout and a lot. And I watched a documentary on it, and it was very very secretive. Not a lot of players knew about it. Not even I mean, AJ Hinch claims he doesn't know about it. I think personally, I think that's a bit of a lie, but that's a whole other argument for another time. But look, let me get back to Lance McCullers. I think he's a very underrated pitcher. I think this is the guy the Houston Astros needed to keep. Time's on his side. He's still a little young. You know, he's still in the lineup with Zach Greinke, and I can't really think about what other pitchers they have. Let me look. No, he's not. They only mentioned Justin Verlander, but I do know Zach Greinke's still in the lineup, which is good. I know he's a little old, but he's still got it within him. So Lance McCullers is in good hands. I don't know how good this Astros team is gonna be. Personally, I think the AL West can go to anybody. It's just like the same situation the NL East is in, only they're not gonna be as competitive as the NL East, in my opinion, anyway. But personally, I think the AL West is still up for grabs. The Astros still could win it. You could make a case for it. The A's kind of downgrade a little bit, but they're still a playoff team. The A's you could make a case for. The Angels, my bad, excuse me, but so I mean, in my opinion, I think the AL West is still up for grabs. So keeping Lance McCullers and trying to get that division title, I think that's a thing that they needed. That's an asset that they needed to keep. So with that being said, I do wish Lance McCullers the best of luck in Houston. Best of luck to the Houston Astros, and I'm gonna pass on to you now, Mario.
Yeah, well, first, good luck to Lance McCullers. Congratulations to him on his extension. Yeah, I mean, last year he didn't really have a bad season. Was it as good as 2018's? No, but again, what a short season. And after, like you said, the Tommy John surgery, his stats stayed pretty consistent. But yeah, I mean, I look at the Astros pitching squad, and remember they did sign Jake Odorizzi,
Yeah, that's
so
right. That's right.
they do have a very good pitching staff, even without Justin Verlander. And now, if Justin Verlander was healthy, does that help? Absolutely. It's Justin Verlander you're talking about. Um, but yeah, like I mean, I don't want to call Lance McCullers underrated, and the reason why is because like I never believed like Lance McCullers was what you call like an ace pitcher. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, of course.
If you look at the stats, I just couldn't really. It's not ace stats. Like I'm just
He's
reading stats
underrated.
right now.
He's underrated for the position of starter that he is. That's personally why I say it.
Yeah, he's a good. I think he's a good third. I think he's a good third pitcher in that rotation. Like I could see him as a very good third pitcher in that rotation. And don't get me wrong, Lance McCullers staying on that team, it absolutely helps the Houston Astros because the Houston Astros, I believe, have a very good pitching squad. And when Justin Verlander comes back, it's only going to be that much better. The question is, you lost a lot of your hitting, you lost a lot of your offense. Will your offense be able to keep the same amount of same attack that you've always had? Now they have Yordan Alvarez, right? Correct. Yordan
Correct.
Alvarez. They have excuse me, Jose Altuve. They have Alex Bregman. Um, they
Carlos
still
Correa.
Carlos Correa. So they still have some good. They still have some good offensive pieces. But is it enough? That loss that George Springer lost, I think was huge.
Yeah, it
I think
was.
it was very huge for that team because George Springer was a guy who could just who was able to let it up consistently every single year, kind of like what Altuve has done. But with Altuve, in my opinion, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, and Yordan Alvarez, 4 out of the 9 guys, those are the guys in their prime. Those are the leaders, and they're going to have to end up leading this team offensively to great places. Defensively, no doubt in my mind, I think they have one of the best defensive teams. To be honest with you, they have a very good pitching squad. Their infield makes very very few mistakes. Very few mistakes. I think Alex Bregman might be one of the best defensive third basemen in the league. You know what I'm saying? Best. I think he might be one of the best defensive third basemen in the league. So defensively, I got no problem with them. What's going to determine if the Astros make the playoffs or not again is how good will they be offensively. Okay, now no doubt in my mind, Lance McCullers is going to bowl this year. No doubt in my mind, Zach Greinke is going to bowl. No doubt in my mind, Jake Odorizzi is going to bowl. The question is your offense going to do it? It's as simple as that. Um, like you said, Lance McCullers was never a guy to like keep his ERA like at a 2 or at like a 1. You know what I'm saying? He was always a guy to have it 3 or above, but he was always a guy who knew how to get wins too. He always knew how to get wins. Like you said, his record last year he had a 3-3 record. 2018 he had a 10-6 record. He had a 7-4 record in 2017. Had an 8-5 record in 2016. So Lance McCullers has always been viewed as a very very good quality pitcher, and I truly believe that. Do I believe he's one of the best in the game? No, but I believe he is a very very good quality pitcher. That if he were to hit free agency, I think a lot of teams would have paid that exact money to get him. A lot of teams, because pitching is one of the biggest needs in baseball. Like you said millions of times, without pitching, you ain't winning. It's as simple as that. I don't care how many runs you know how to score. If you don't have good pitching, what's the point of it? So, with that being said, I wish Lance McCullers the best of luck in Houston. As much as I still have that grudge with Houston, what they did too. But
Yeah, me too.
I wish Houston the best of luck with Lance McCullers, and we'll see how this season turns out.